create one of the best storylines. It's an opportunity to present a great storyline between two iconic names in professional wrestling. Who knows what kind of storyline we would see between Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. The possibilities are literally endless when it comes to Hogan versus Austin because of how much can be done with the storyline. There are so many things that you can do. They have very big catchphrases. They have so many things they can do to get this one over. And just the atmosphere the fans would create would be phenomenal going into the match. You would need several months of promotion to put this match over. This is not a match that you could put off with 1 month of promotion. You would probably need a year to a year and a half to promote this match, similar to how you needed about a year to promote The Rock versus John Cena every time. At WrestleManias 28 through 29, you need a year of promotion, some possibly even a year and a half of promotion to get this match off. But that doesn't mean that the match wouldn't be a good match because of how much it would be hyped up. I think it would be a great match, even though there would be a lot of promotion behind it, because fans believe that if you over-promote a match, the chances of the match not living up to the expectations are higher because of how much it's promoted. But I think this will be one of the matches you can kind of make an exception for. You can have a lot of promotion for it, and the match would be one that would live up to the expectations going into the match, even though there would probably be a lot of doubt in the minds of wrestling fans, because as I just said, the possibilities of Hogan versus Austin are literally endless. You can do so much with this storyline after how much they have given in their previous years of both of their careers in professional wrestling. And the heightness of this has definitely increased since what happened at WrestleMania 30, seeing Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the ring at the same time. One thing that we didn't get out of the segment that kicked off WrestleMania 30 this year was the chant of a triple threat, so the fans kind of realized the chances of that match happening probably are second to none. But that's one thing that I got out of this promo that was done at WrestleMania 30 was the fact we didn't get any triple threat chants during the promo between Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, and The Rock. You would have thought we would have at least seen chants of having one more match for Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin when they were face-to-face prior to The Rock's entrance. They gave the ring to Hogan and Austin prior to The Rock coming out. The Rock comes out and talks about how Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin were revolutionary forces in his professional wrestling career, making him into the man that he is today. He talked about headlining WrestleMania with both Hogan and Austin, and I think we could see one more WrestleMania with these three in a triple threat match, if not that, Hogan versus Austin. I was really surprised the fans weren't behind the triple threat chant for Hogan versus Austin versus Rock, because that would ultimately be the greatest match of all time. We have seen a lot of great fantasy matches come into fruition in professional wrestling over the years. One that was talked about for seemingly forever was Rock versus Goldberg. We got that in 2003. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg in 2004 at WrestleMania 20. We got The Rock versus John Cena after literally years of discussion of that for the first time in 2012 at WrestleMania 28. Again at WrestleMania 29 in the rematch, Redemption versus Legacy, with The Rock going into it as champion, attempting to solidify his legacy as the greatest of all time, and John Cena going in with the sole purpose of having redemption. All these fantasy matches that finally came into fruition had great storylines, and that's why I say the possibilities are literally endless with Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, because if The Rock and John Cena and The Rock and Goldberg can have phenomenally incredible storylines going into their respective matches, then Hogan versus Austin can probably have the greatest storyline of all time, and if not the greatest storyline of all time, a storyline that wrestling fans will remember given their catchphrases and everything they've previously done in various federations. I mean, one thing you have to take into consideration is Hogan and Austin weren't exclusive to one professional wrestling federation back in the day. They were exclusive to multiple professional wrestling organizations, and it wasn't only until later years the WWE handed them massive deals to remain exclusive to WWE. I mean, they contributed everything to WWE, WCW, and even ECW in the earlier years of their careers. Who will ever forget stunning Steve Austin and what he did in WCW and ECW when he eventually developed a hatred for Eric Bischoff? He even went to ECW and worked under the tutelage of Paul Heyman, and Paul Heyman guided the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin in the earlier years of his career to superstardom, to catapult Stone Cold Steve Austin to becoming a future WWE champion and being managed by some of the all-time greats like Ted DiBiase in the mid-1990s. That Caribbean strap match with Austin and Savio Vega, I saw it the other day on YouTube, and it got me to thinking about how much Stone Cold Steve Austin really has done in professional wrestling. And you take a look at all the classic Hulk Hogan matches that have been uploaded on YouTube. Hogan's faced them all, from Andre the Giant to Sting to Bret Hart. He has done it all, and he's defeated some of the all-time greats. But we have never seen Stone Cold Steve Austin versus versus Hulk Hogan. And you know, this one dream match, you would have seen it at least earlier in their careers when they were in the prime of their careers. Now, given their age and how much they're restricted to doing what they weren't able to do back in the years prior to this, this match probably wouldn't be as good. But I think you can kind of give Austin versus Hogan the benefit of the doubt, and you would think we would have seen it long before now. You would have thought we would have seen it at least in 2003, 2004. You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin retired in 2003, and it was believed then we would never have seen Stone Cold Steve Austin again, but he came back under Legends contract with WWE less than a year after that. He was the co-general manager of Monday Night Raw. He came back making the scattered appearance on professional wrestling television, and the thing was, Hulk Hogan was under contract with WWE the same year Stone Cold Steve Austin went public with his retirement in his final match against The Rock at WrestleMania 19. They headlined the same WrestleMania. Hogan went one-on-one with Vince McMahon for the first time ever, and Austin went one-on-one with The Rock in their final encounter of 3 in an incredible trilogy of matches we have seen over the years. And I think the only reason that Austin faced Rock in his final match was because of the respect that wrestling fans had for both of these iconic names and what they had previously done at previous WrestleManias and main events for the championship, and how they were revolutionary forces during the Attitude Era, and the reason why we have superstars like John Cena and Randy Orton today in professional wrestling. If not for that, we probably would have seen Austin face Hogan in his final match. That would have been a great match for WrestleMania 19. I guess with everything going on in WWE that year, with Brock Lesnar's rise to superstardom going into WrestleMania against Kurt Angle, with The Undertaker, of course, in a handicap match defending his streak, with Booker T facing Triple H for the championship for the first time ever. They had so much going on at that particular WrestleMania. They didn't want to give us a match as big as Hogan versus Austin. Maybe they're saving it for a WrestleMania down the road when we least expected that match will be made official. Who knows? Anything is possible in WWE, and it's been said many times, anything can happen in professional wrestling, and I believe the chances of this match are happening are very low. I don't want to deny that here on this radio show. The chances of it happening are very low, but as it's been said many times, anything can happen in professional wrestling. My prediction of this match, given his mega popularity, the winner of the match will be Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that would be an interesting poll for our website. Who do you think would win this dream match between Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold Steve Austin? It would be interesting to see what you fans have to say about a winner and a prediction for this match. I just recently did a poll on John Cena versus Hulk Hogan, and the results of that one were quite interesting, so we'll probably do the same thing for Hogan versus Austin, because I've never directly asked wrestling fans that question. I've talked about a lot of dream matches over the years. I've talked about Sting versus The Undertaker, which is a match we have yet to see, which I still hold to believe that one day we will see at a WrestleMania, with rumors already floating around that The Undertaker will return to face Sting at WrestleMania 31 coming up in 2015. We have not got that confirmed, but that is a rumor that's been floating around. Bret Hart versus The Rock is another match that has been rumored to happen for years and years and years. Batista versus Brock Lesnar is a match that we're just waiting on now. Literally, it's going to happen at any given time. With everything going on with the return of Evolution right now, it's kind of been put on the back burner, and I'm really disappointed we haven't seen Lesnar versus Batista at this point, with how Batista came back with so much momentum and so much unpredictability, and how he missed out on the opportunity to win the championship at WrestleMania 30. Nobody expected the results of WrestleMania 30's main event that we got, with Daniel Bryan overcoming adversity in that triple threat match to not only defeat Batista and Randy Orton that same night, but to defeat Triple H previously in the very first match of WrestleMania 30, getting over against all 3 Evolution members. What an impressive accomplishment for Daniel Bryan. And you would have thought at WrestleMania 30 we would have seen at least one dream match between any of these wrestlers, and one match I was expecting to see at WrestleMania 30 could have been Batista versus Lesnar, and they missed out on an incredible opportunity with that, just as they've missed out on a lot of incredible opportunities over the years. When Hogan teased Austin versus Hogan at WWE Homecoming in 2005, when Raw moved from TNN to the USA Network for the first time in years, after being with the USA Network for years, in a promo with Mean Gene Okerlund, Hogan asked Mean Gene the question, what would ever happen if Hogan versus Austin ever happened in WWE? Mean Gene was left speechless, and a lot of wrestling fans were left speechless in that promo. And after that promo was dropped by Hulk Hogan, the rumors started running rampant around professional wrestling websites and the professional wrestling industry in general, because everybody expected to see Hogan versus Austin sometime between 2005 to 2007, and we are still waiting on it literally after 10 years of having waited for this match to happen, and it was just recently teased at WrestleMania 30. And my response to all this promotion of Hogan versus Austin, all this teasing that's been recently going on and it's been going on for years, is that if it's going to happen, it needs to happen at some point in time. It needs to go off no matter who wins this match. At this point, I really don't care who wins this match. It just needs to happen with every dream match we have seen over the past 10 years. This match has been waited on for years and years and years. Wrestling fans have been excited, filled to the maximum with anticipation to see this one, and I think it's time to put it off. At WrestleMania, SummerSlam, I don't care where it happens. The most likely place for it to happen will be between WrestleMania 30 to 35, and if it doesn't happen there, at an up-and-coming SummerSlam or even a Survivor Series, one of the staple pay-per-view events, is where this is bound to happen. And even at pay-per-views leading up to when the match is going to happen, like Survivor Series, you could have Team Hogan versus Team Austin. That would be a pretty interesting concept for a Survivor Series, and you can have something done at SummerSlam to promote it if it's going to happen at